What's up, y'all? It's popping. It's D. About to react to this video by TroyceTv. It's titled "Celebrities Who Lied About Being Hood and Poor." Why would you lie about such a thing? It's not a fun life. It's not a fun experience at all. People are just so lame. I would not wish that upbringing on my worst enemy. Okay, I've been through some things. Actually, I'm gonna start posting some of my experiences that I endured over on my Patreon. I've mentioned my Patreon a lot today in these videos. You probably gonna hear it in every video I upload today. Anyway, whatever. Shameless plug. But yes, I think I'm gonna start doing that because I've already started putting up story times over there about drama with friends. Been putting that up over there. So I think I'm gonna start opening up about my chaotic ghetto childhood. Anyway, but yeah, these people are lame for lying about having such a upbringing. But anyway, let's hear the deets. Let's watch.
Some viewers may find this disturbing. Your discretion is advised.
Hi, my loves. It's Destin Troyce, and you're watching TroyceTv. So today's video, I really wanted to get on here and talk about nepotism babies, people's glamorization of the hood, and why a lot of people who are obviously nepotism babies are obsessed with coming from struggle, hardships, and demise. Now, what really inspired this video for me was when King Harris, also known as T.I. and Tiny's little gremlin son, recently went viral for disrespecting both of them on live stream. Because as we all know, he had this weird obsession with wanting to come from the hood and coming from struggle and coming from the trenches because he puts it all over his music. So the seed of Chucky, Glenda, also known as T.I.'s son, basically went out of his way to go on live and make it clear that he's not from the suburbs because he grew up 15 minutes away from the hood, and because he's so hood, he should be respected, and he should be respected as a whole for his music. As they should, they corrected him and let him know that he doesn't come from struggle and he had a very easy life because we all watched him grow up.
See, the south side with me when they, you know what I'm saying? Clayton ain't no suburb. Man, Stockbridge, baby. Stockbridge.
That where you was?
That's where the lake house was.
That where you from?
That's where the lake house was. The lake house was. I was 15 minutes from the lake house, 20 minutes. This shit rough out here. Let me hear my shit.
King, have you ever woke up with a roach on your face?
No, that's not the goal.
All right, then.
That's not the goal. But roach on your face is crazy. But I definitely had roaches at some point. Being a child, I remember roaches being in the vicinity because I grew up in Jordan Projects, okay, and everybody had roaches in that project complex. It wasn't because we were dirty; that wasn't the case at all. It was just infested with roaches. They didn't give a fuck about those apartment complexes, okay. So anyway, yes. Saying waking up with a roach in your face is wild. That ain't never happened to me, but definitely roach was crawling on my body a few times. Very traumatized.
I got some niggas in the neighborhood that give me that roach on my face.
Okay, in your ear. This is also, sorry, it's the last time I'm paused, but this is also a telltale sign that somebody is not from the hood, because I'm not arguing with nobody trying to convince him I'm from the hood. I'm not doing that. If you be like, oh, you ain't really from the hood, I'm not gonna argue with somebody. All right, because I don't care what the fuck you believe. I know where I grew up, and I'm not. This is not no hood contest, and I'm not proud. Oh, I come from the trenches. Like that's. I don't like a lot of the experiences that I had to go through. So what the fuck I'm gonna argue with you about that over? That's so lame. So this is a clear giveaway that he's not from nobody's hood or even close by.
You know how they say, you wasn't born with a silver spoon?
My son got me born with a real typical silver spoon.
Yeah, look,
That's what it's supposed to be. Just like he was. He was born with a silver spoon.
No, y'all trying to do a big one. Trying to do a big one. Niggas ain't got too much to drink. Niggas done drunk too much. Niggas drunk too much. Let's go. Niggas get mad because we say the South ain't the suburbs. Then he want to talk about some other shit. Joking. Niggas joking. What do you mean?
You are embarrassing yourself.
We already saw this.
You are embarrassing yourself.
So basically, he got on live stream. He basically argued with his parents about how he's basically hood because he used to spend a lot of time at his grandma's house.
Why is
his
this
grandma was
cilantro
about
here?
15 minutes away from the hood. So technically, he's still hood because he went to school for all the hood kids and he kicked it after school and played outside for all the hood kids. So he thinks he's basically hood. And last week, this was a big deal all over social media and completely blew up. And a lot of people were very concerned and also disgusted. But let me just say that this is T.I. and Tiny's karma because this is what happens when you spoil your kids and you enable their bad behavior. Because as I like to say, when you enable somebody's bad behavior, you inherit their karma. And look what happened. We all remember the situation involving King Harris when he went inside that Waffle House and he disrespected workers because they put pickles on his sandwich.
I just reacted to this in the video. I'm gonna skip this.
His son going off on a worker by saying that this person is at such a low level.
He felt he needed to stop what he was doing to engage someone who is at such another level of life.
But I really want to understand, why does he want to be hood so badly? Exactly. It's weird because I have this weird issue with a lot of people glamorizing the hood and the ghetto as, yeah, that's where I'm from. I come from here. I come from there. I mean, the truth is, most of society is virtually poor. Rich people don't make up most of the fucking planet. They really don't. The problem is, a lot of people nowadays are trying to be relatable. King Harris and all these major celebrities that want to be from the hood and be down so badly, they want to relate to the people that they're trying to sell products to. If you're making gangster rap music or you're trying to be famous, the average person that's going to follow you is not going to be wealthy, used to private schools, personal drivers, trust fund, millions of dollars, and a college fund. Not every person has that. And matter of fact, 95% of people that you meet in the world don't have that. So a lot of people want to be relatable because nowadays, celebrity culture is low-key dying. A lot of people don't give a fuck about this person, what Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, and Cameron Diaz is doing. They care about what the influencers on their For You page on TikTok is doing. Relatability is what sells, and no one can connect with you if you're someone who comes from a lot. You know, like people are gonna think that you're an arrogant fool, which a lot of these people who come from a lot end up being arrogant fools, especially if they didn't build it up themselves.
Y'all been done hit rock bottom. You hear me? So let's just stop that. I would never pretend to be something that I'm not. And that's a bitch ass broke. I never pretend to be that. Shit is good over here. Shit is good. Why would I want to pretend to be anything less? Look at this. Why would I want to be treated as anything less? You hear me, my brother?
I'm sorry, man, but they kid ugly as fuck. Tiny and T.I., they breeded an ugly ass fucking kid. Forgive me, but it's just little stuff like that makes celebrity culture die because the average person that's watching this live stream gonna feel some type of way about this. So when something negative happens to you, like you lose everything, or you get jumped or beat up, or you have a show or performance, why would the average person want to come support you? People are gonna want to go support, you know, somebody who's down to earth, somebody who comes from nothing, like a Taylor Swift. People who didn't have much. People want to support that person. People want to support the little guy and help the little guy progress and elevate. Not someone who had it made most of their life and has their head so far off their ass. And in order to justify his ego, he wants to go around saying that he's hood and he comes from nothing, even though he came from a lot. So that's why he goes around trying to rep the hood, even though he knows nothing about the hood. The hood is not fun. Anyone that lived in the hood, grew up in the hood, will tell you that the hood is not a nice place. Most of y'all watching this who come from the trenches, who come from rough areas, know it's not fun to walk outside the house and look over your shoulder every 5 minutes thinking that someone that looks like you is going to run up on you. It's not fun to walk outside the house and see a trap house lowering property values. It's not fun that when human traffickers want to come around and circle the block and abduct young women, that the police are never really going to show up or do anything about it because of it being a low-income area. Remember that situation where a lot of people in the community had to find out that there was a whorehouse and a human trafficking house literally happening in their own neighborhood, and they had to fuck up the entire house because guess what? The police wasn't going to look for nobody. They weren't going to go out their way to look for little black girls who were kidnapped and abducted.
Had boarded up that property, and people in the crowd started smashing windows of the house that officers had boarded up, trying to break in there. Now, that house, according to people in the crowd here, is known as a sex trafficking house that they believe one or both of these two girls had been seen here a few days ago, and family members say that the girls have been found. I did interview a family member here on scene. They told me that the girls have been found by family this afternoon. Police, however, are not confirming. They say that that family has not gotten a hold of them, and the people here are still here upset, even though they've heard that these girls have been found, because they don't believe police have been doing their due diligence in these investigations, searching for missing girls now or in the past, and they also want all of these houses on the street investigated. Listen to what one had to say earlier.
These girls went missing 2 days ago. Where the hell was the Amber Alert? Because I never got one. I never saw one to my phone. I never got alerted about any missing kids. So where was the Amber Alert? This entire city is failing our black children. And that's facts. This entire city is, from the top down. And everybody needs to go.
And that's the reality of living in the hood. No matter what city or country
I love
you live
them coming together
when
for
things
that.
go sour and go bad, nobody comes until it's too late. So that's why I don't understand why a lot of people want to glamorize and be so infatuated with the hood, like King Harris. Like why a lot of these celebrity children want to, romanticize the hood, like Lil Boosie's son and King Harris and all these other entertainers who come from good, decent families, like Ice Cube, who went to a performing arts school and comes from a decent family, and many more people who grew up in, wealthy and decent, well-off families like Ja Rule. Why do y'all glamorize being from the hood so badly? Because this is the reality that a lot of us who grew up in these kind of areas have to deal with. Imagine being able to walk down the street and being abducted, but the police don't give a fuck because it's a dangerous area, and they don't want to be harming their damn selves, so they won't even show up. So when I heard a lot of your favorite celebrities, like Lizzo, or what's that other boy name? YBN Cordae, who probably never lived in a fucking hood for at least a fucking week of his life, when I see a lot of these entertainers saying, defund the police, defund them, bitch, fuck you and defund your police. Because the hood needs their police. Anyone that's lived in the hood knows that they already don't show up as it is. So that's all I'm saying, to be honest with y'all. I have love for the hood, but let's be real, most people don't want to live there. The truth is this, at the end of the day, the hood is nice for culture, great food, opportunities for people to grow and buy homes and stuff. But it's not fun and games when you wake up one day and you don't have a Starbucks or a Chipotle in your area, or when a Whole Foods or farmers markets don't want to build in your community, which then will provide jobs because they're nervous that people are going to shoplift and beat the shit down. So it's all fun and games to want to be from the hood to get the type of street cred for your music until you actually live there. You live off their income as a grown-ass adult, and then you disrespect them on live stream, and then on top of that, you talk about how you're basically hood. This dude, if he was on his own, wouldn't even want to fucking rent an apartment in the hood. And this is a common trend where a lot of entertainers and rappers and people in general want to glamorize coming from something so low and coming from somewhere where they don't have much going on for themselves because they don't really have an identity outside of being rich and having everything handed to them. A good example is someone like Tyga. Tyga was at the height of his career back in 2011, and he was one of the biggest rappers in the world at some point, and people still respect Tyga to this day. But the issue with Tyga is Tyga lied about coming from the hood and coming from the trenches in order to get on. As we all know, Tyga does, or at some point made gangsta rap music, and in order to get on, he sat up there and lied and told people that he comes from the trenches, all while also telling people he grew up in Compton, which we all know is one of the most dangerous areas in Los Angeles, or it used to be one of the most dangerous areas in Los Angeles. Yo, this is Tyga. Yes, I'm from Compton. Come to find out, Tyga is not from Compton. He doesn't come from struggle or the trenches or having killers around him. Tyga is actually from the Valley in Los Angeles. The Valley is a very upscale area known for its fancy markets, known for its great schools, known for its high-class apartments, known for its great police system, and much more. There was a resurfaced clip that came out from an unaired MTV show called Busters, where this man legitimately rapped on camera and told people on camera that he's from the Valley, but he still got a little bit of hood in him, and that his mother drove a Range Rover and was well off.
When I was young, my mom used to say I looked like Tiger Woods, so I just stuck with that. Grew up, not too tough, parents got a Range Rover, CL600, doing it big, not too much hard, but I'm still street. Yeah, it's TYGA, they say I'm not hood because I stay in the Valley. They say I never been in the alley, I tell them cats, I've been in the alley.
This is from an unaired MTV show that never came out, and somehow it resurfaced because Tyga was lying about his upbringing. Another thing that I also want to talk about is Shanell Lauper.
And that's
now, for
very
those
far
who know,
from
the most successful, most famous pop star in the world, Cyndi Lauper, who we all know for her song Time After Time, Girls Just Want to Have Fun, True Colors. All of us love Cyndi Lauper's music. But the issue with Cyndi Lauper is she never really goes around claiming her son or talking about her son because her son is low-key a complete embarrassment. Now, if y'all didn't know, Cyndi Lauper has a son named Declan Lauper who's roughly around, I want to say, 26 years old. And to make a long story short, her son basically goes around claiming that he's a thug, he's a rapper, he be throwing up gang signs, he was dating the girl from Love and Hip Hop, Britney, and he just overall lies about his image and what he represents. And a lot of this is obviously done for attention.
See, we outside with it.
Yeah.
We outside with it. Hold on, hey, yo, Al. We outside with it. We outside with it. Hold on. Yo, Wild Boy. Outside with it, blood. Wild Boy right by the goat. Blood, you got that red bandana on. You going on my grandma on Paru, blood. You got to understand that. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Oh, this is embarrassing.
Of course, that's why it's like on me. You feel what I'm saying? And everybody else, yo. Blood, blood.
Oh my God, please stop.
The dude goes around claiming that he's a blood, has music and songs of him repping
This hair is
and
so
he even has
tragic.
photos of him throwing up gang signs. And it's sad because, again, Cyndi Lauper tries her best to avoid answering questions about her son because a lot of his behavior is problematic. Him making music videos.
Her and Tom Hanks need to lean on each other for support for their embarrassing children.
Hanging with his bloods in Inglewood. And then he got these damn, like, braids in his head. It's just like fucking doo-doo.
Yeah,
And it's sad because this dude is the son of Cyndi Lauper.
I will catch, I'll be waiting, time after time.
Cyndi Lauper, if anything, she's hood. She grew up in Queens, New York. She came from struggling, elevating her life, and getting on back in the early 80s and being one of the most successful, well-respected, stellar, Academy Award-winning artists in the entire world. She, if anything, came from struggles, and she, if anything, comes from the trenches. But her son doesn't. Her son grew up in Manhattan and back and forth to Connecticut. They even had a whole reality show where they used to document their luxury life, growing up in the suburbs and growing up going on tour with his mom.
Yeah, it's pretty
Where's your date for the evening here?
My son did.
Oh, yeah.
It's your first derby, too?
Yes, it is.
What do you think of it so far?
A lot of fans, everything. It's a great honor for my mom to be Grand Marshal. I'm just happy to be here.
And it was just like, what in the fucking Malibu's most one is going on here? This is not you. Yeah. This isn't your life. You didn't grow up in the trenches. You don't come from this.
What's your hood ties? You able to talk on that?
I say
bullshit.
my ties to all that is look.
Non-existent.
People respect genuine people. You know what I mean? People respect good people. You know what I mean? If people respect your values and how you move and how you carry yourself and how you keep your head on your shoulders the right way, people won't respect you. Because I don't move around in the sense of looking for a problem, to keep it real and to keep it straight on point.
He looks like McLovin, bro. Fuck out of here.
Honestly, I'd say my surroundings around me kind of put me involved with hip hop. And all of these huge legends that were involved with hip hop and pop were family. They Patty LaBelle, that's my grandma.
Wow.
So it's like a lot of influential people that had involvements with hip hop and pop I would be around.
Growing up, I didn't like the fact that I came from a impoverished background. I didn't like the fact that my parents had no money and were living paycheck to paycheck. I didn't like the fact that I was living in the hood and living in a bad area, worried about getting mugged, getting snatched up on the street. I didn't like the fact that by the time I was like 10, 11, 12 years old, I'm like watching my back to make sure no one's like following me or harassing me. I didn't like the fact that I was constantly anxious and having anxiety when I walked down the street or left my front door. I didn't like that aesthetic. Most of the people that join gangs because they have to. Most people who live in the hood because they have to. Nobody just says, oh my God, let's look for apartments in the hood. No one does that. It's one thing to visit the hood. It's one thing to go visit family, eat good food, and vibe and hang out in the hood. But to actually glamorize hood shit and gang culture by throwing up gang signs when you grew up in a wealthy and privileged background. Also got in a lot of trouble with the law back in 2018. If you guys didn't know, back in 2018, this dude was driving around in a stolen car. And of course, he was convicted and charged. And he got off and away with 1 year probation. Now, had he looked a different way, we all know the results would have been completely different. But it is distasteful how this dude had almost everything handed to him, but he uplifts and glamorizes something that he never really was a part of. It just goes to show you that money really doesn't buy happiness. And if that's not enough, anytime somebody brings up Cyndi Lauper's son in an interview, she absolutely cringes.
Musicality is passed on, right? Because your son Declan, who's 20 years old now, he's a musician?
Not yet. He's not 20 yet. Yeah, he's doing really well. He's record companies are talking to him. It's an exciting time for him, and he's in the studio making music. So
that must be an amazing feeling for you.
I think he has a lot of talent, and he has a lot of different talents, and this is just, he has the whole world ahead of him right now.
Does he like to perform in the same way that you like to perform? First thing I thought when you sat down in this chair to this,
I guess everybody just wants a coming of age story because being rich and famous isn't for everybody. And some people just want to feel like they're a part of a community. And the average person can't relate to people who are born in wealth and privilege. People can't connect to something that is far from fucking reachable. Nobody can relate to somebody who has millions of dollars in parents. Nobody can relate to somebody who grew up going to private schools, having personal drivers. No one can connect with that. I feel as though that King Harris, aka Glenda, feels like he has to act out because if he doesn't act out,
Annabelle
people will always discredit him and mistreat him, feel like he's nothing because he always has to live in his parents'
Oh no, he said Chucky.
Hanks, this person, that person,
Chucky.
Lauper,
Chucky's son.
more people. And also, I really want to get on here to talk about Lawrence Fishburne's daughter. You know, Lawrence Fishburne's daughter.
Oh, the porn star,
Back, I want to say 2009, in the early 2000s, she basically went around acting like she came from nothing because she chose the most low-energy career route and did some of the most low-energy things.
I saw her tape,
I guess in a sense, trying to act out.
And her daddy was Paresh. He was mad as he should be. He like, why would you even use your real last name? Like, porn stars do not do that. They use fake last names. The fuck is you doing? Why are you trying to tarnish my name? Right. He was right.
Off her father, because that's what I feel like a lot of these celebrity kids are doing.
And her tape was not given. I remember.
When I see people like,
it was
you know, Cyndi Lauper's son acting like this, I feel like it's a cry for help. Like, fuck you, you don't understand me. So now I'm gonna go run with the black kids. Almost like when little Becky, you know, doesn't get accepted by her parents, so she goes run around with Tyrone and Pookie, so that way she can go prove a point to make her parents upset. But anyways, back to the point I was trying to make. Lawrence Fishburne's daughter, if you guys didn't know, basically did porn. So Lawrence Fishburne, we all know him and love him from being the daddy in Boys in the Hood. Most of us love him and know him from The Matrix and so many other films. And to make a long story short, he has a daughter named Montana, who's his eldest daughter. And back in 2009, when she was about 19 years old, she wanted to get into the entertainment industry because she was inspired by Kim Kardashian to the degree that she even wanted to go as far as doing porn.
For me, I want to be in entertainment, so this is the first step of my entertainment career.
Well, I gotta ask you, I think this is what I was thinking about this, because I'm not a prude. I don't mind nudity. I'm not afraid of sex if it's part of art. But I think what maybe upsets people is the word porn. Porn has been described, I looked it up in the dictionary, graphic sex whose primary purpose is to cause sexual arousal, much as obscenity is described as utterly without redeeming social importance. If you want to be an actress, why not be an actress and say, well, I'll do sex scenes when it really fits into the storyline and it's art?
I mean, I look at pornography as art. I see beautiful people, you know, touching each other in sensual ways, you know, doing erotic things to each other, and that, for me, that is art. I think porn, film, and, you know, music, it's all art. It's just porn is more graphic. And porn, I'm interested in sex and the porn world and all the different things that it has to offer. I mean, I can explore bondage, girl on girl, different guys, everything. And
girl, you flopped. Let's move on.
I mean, that's what I mean.
How you flop, have a porn tape flop?
Is there any way that you might be a sex addict, perhaps? Now, because I know you certainly obviously don't need money. You're the daughter of a very, very well-off man. But reports are you were arrested last year for alleged prostitution.
My daddy was.
What's going on there?
That was a mix-up. I wasn't arrested for prostitution. And, I mean, I don't think I'm a sex addict at all. I have a healthy sex life, but I'm not, like, out trying to screw everything I see or, you know, and like I'm pretty conservative when it comes down to my personal life.
I don't understand this. You're a beautiful young woman. You have a famous father. Now, we all know that Hollywood's one of the most nepotistic places on earth. You could easily get in to see anybody, casting agents, get the best agents. Why not go that route?
I've thought about it, but my passion is with this porn. I mean, this is really the first step I wanted to do. I'm interested in the sex world. If it wasn't porn, it would have been Playboy. I mean,
girl, you could have went that route, the professional acting route, but just be thotting and bopping behind the scenes, and nobody would have really been in your business like that. That's what you could have did if you really want to be involved in the sex world. They got all type of weird shit going on, you know, in Hollywood. So you could have been going to orgies, sex parties, all type of shit. If that's what you want to explore, bitch, could have been doing that behind the scenes. Why would you do this?
I understand that it reflects on
work
my
out.
at the same time. It's my name also, and we are two separate people, and I think because he's had such a long, successful career and he is so respected, my action should have nothing to do with him.
Have you heard from your dad about this?
No.
She didn't even make much money. She just said she wanted to do it. What are you doing? Look where you came from. Why are you acting like you came from nothing? Most of the women that walk the corners and run the corners come from nothing, have no support system, have nothing going for themselves, have no type of support of anything. And a lot of people who dabble in the sex work, like OnlyFans, X-rated content, porn work, or anything involving stripping, are usually people who genuinely trying to survive and struggle. And I don't understand why she would have a passion for porn when she grew up around some of the biggest high-end entertainers in the world. If she's passionate about entertainment, why didn't she just become an actor? This was a really big thing back in the early 2000s, and it was a big deal because her dad basically publicly disowned her. Anytime anyone brought up the allegations of her being, you know, pulled over or arrested or facing charge of prostitution, her dad immediately deflected from the question and didn't even want to answer it.
Recently, your daughter was in the news. Is that difficult sometimes?
No, I don't know. I haven't heard.
Oh, so you kind of just
got the blinders on that one.
I haven't heard. I try not to talk about my personal life.
She comes from all this, and this is what she chose for her life. These nepotism babies are lashing out for attention and want some type of validation. Sometimes coming from nothing is a blessing because it makes you appreciate the value of a dollar. And sometimes it makes you appreciate coming from nothing because a lot of people who are around you never really make it out. Yeah, it's inspiring to be able to get it from the bottom, but having help and having support is good as well. It's not good to shame people who come from a lot, and it's not good to shame people who come from nothing. Coming from a lot and coming from nothing are two perfectly fine things. It's just all about what you do with what you have. Because at the end of the day, people hate when I say this, but we have the same 24 hours as Beyonce. You may not have the same resources, but we all have the same 24 hours in a day. It's all about what do you do with those 24 hours. So what are you going to do in the next 24 hours? Give your thoughts and opinions and comments down below. And yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this. Troyce out this bitch.
Or is it parsley? I'm trying to determine. I want to say it's parsley. It looks more like parsley. Let me know what y'all think because cilantro and parsley look very, very similar. Yeah, lame. They all lame. Lame as hell. My goodness. Especially that Montana girl. Like, why would you do that and embarrass that man? And he is such a respected actor in Hollywood. That's similar to like if Denzel Washington had a daughter and she came out to do porn. people will be like, what the fuck? I mean, obviously Denzel is a bit higher than Lawrence, but it's along those same lines. So people will be like, what in the fuck? Why? This is an A-list actor. You can use his resources. What are you doing? Just appalling. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about all this. Let me know what other videos you're going to watch, and I'll see y'all the next time. Bye.